Hello there, doctors. Welcome to episode 7 of how to monetize your medical expertise online. And today we're going to talk about how you can monetize from being a consultant. Yes, just a consultant. There are a lot of companies that want to tap into what's in between your ears right here of all the training that you did and how it's applicable to their processes or their equipment and how they can integrate that into their marketing effort. I'm Dr. Ian Trump,
I'm Dr. Mike Woo-Ming.
and we can share with you our experience as a consultant and how we get paid. Again, people know about you if you're online and producing content and be known as the expert and the authority in your field. So what I've been paid as a consultant is one is say if a company is developing a medical device and they want to know how to put this plug on here, this stopper on here, and so forth. They want you to kind of do some R&D with them, and they bring the device to you. You test it out, and then you give them feedback. You even give them some information on maybe the protocol that it can be applicable because they don't know clinical indication, they don't know contraindication, and they don't know how to integrate that device for the patient versus you do. And so company will pay you a lot of money to give them feedback on their product. Now that could be a medical device, and I've been paid to be the one advise big companies, their health clinics on how to set up their screening and SOPs for the health clinic. I'm not doing it myself, but from more of a bigger picture and a more cost saving structure as well. So those are the things that I do the most now is that I test out equipment for the companies that I work with. I give them feedback and they pay me a consultant fee for that. And it usually ranges from like, depends on how many hours you get. So right now I get about between $1,500, $3,000, depending on how many hours that I spend. Even if I spend 15 minutes, it's charged as an hour. And then you will be billed as a 10.99 for that. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, so my experience is not necessarily working with companies, although I have worked with companies. It really just depends on what type of consultant you want to be. I was approached early on for my expertise in marketing. So I've worked as a consultant where I've spoken to an OBGYN association on marketing, on social media, on pay-per-click advertising, because that's what I knew. And that's why I think consultant is probably the best side gig or side business that a physician can do. It's certainly one of the easiest ways because certainly you're just leveraging your own expertise. You're just leveraging what you know. Your experience in your practice, your clinical experience is what got you to people approach you. And oftentimes it's like, I'm not even actively seeking it. So in the last year or so, I've been focusing on AI, how to use artificial intelligence in your practice as a physician. And now I've been asked to be on boards. It's open opportunities working with startups in AI, even employ positions for it. I'm not going that way. I'm already busy enough, but it just shows you like when you have knowledge that could benefit another person or a company, then people will pay you for that knowledge. And the great thing about consulting is you can do it on your own time. You don't have to clock in or clock out. And doing this on her spare time, she can go consulting when she's on vacation or at home or abroad. It really doesn't matter. And depending on what it is, you can really kind of determine what your price and how valuable it is. So I've had lots of different experiences in consulting and as I mentioned, I think it's one of the easiest ways if you want to start your own side business or side gig for a physician to get into.
Absolutely, because oftentimes we take our medical knowledge for granted because it's kind of first nature for us. But you can be a consultant for medical legal case. That's called expert witness, I guess. That's considered a consultant as well, but doesn't even have to be medical legal. I've been asked to consult an author who is writing a book on entrepreneurship and how to integrate wellness in being optimizing entrepreneurship. And I didn't write the chapter, but I give him some ideas to talk about and base it out of that. So just really tapping your knowledge to help somebody either do a project, like in my case, write a book, or developing a product and mindset being on AI. I mean, I've been asked to be a consultant to be on the board as well for an electronic medical record company a while ago, and also be a consultant for colleges as well. So I did that for a couple of years because for the colleges, they want to have a seat at the table from your perspective as a physician, the different programs that they're growing. I've also been a paid board member for the hospital that we have here locally as well. So I don't know that I guess that's semi consultant, semi board members, but you get paid for that position. So just wanted to kind of put out some different ideas that your knowledge people will pay to tap into your expertise and that don't take it lightly, that value you can offer. Any other ideas, Mike?
Yeah, and then the more specialized that you get, the more valuable you are. So for the last several years, as someone who owns an aesthetic wellness practice, I've been working with the medical board, the California Medical Board, and I'm working with a few doctors who unfortunately got into a bit of issue and their licenses is currently on probation. So I work with them monthly on reviewing charts and things like that. And the way that it started was they were looking for an expert or a practice owner in that field to review those types of things. When it comes to pricing, that's what's really great about consultant is you can name your own price. So what is it worth to you, whether or not you want to do it? That's why I said you can do this anywhere. So when you're looking to determine, like, if you want to become a consultant, some things that you want to ask yourself, you want to ask yourself questions is, what knowledge do I have? It could be clinical, it could be non-clinical. I know doctors who are consultants because they really do well in real estate, or they really do great in investments, and then they share that expertise with others. So do you have knowledge that could be benefit? Second thing is, you want to be an expert in that. And I often say as a litmus test is, can you talk on stage 15 minutes about this particular subject or more? And can talk about erectile dysfunction for hours, days,
I
right?
can talk about it for days.
Yeah, I can talk about marketing for hours for days. I can talk about AI for hours for days. So those are the kinds of things. Do you have knowledge? Is that something you know, like the back of your hand? And three, does it interest you? I mean, hopefully it's something that you'd be interested in. More importantly, is it the audience that you'd be working in? Do you like to work with those people? So do you like to work with companies? Do you like to work with startups? Do you like to work with individuals? Often my clients are physicians because I like to work with physicians. If you have knowledgeable about, let's say something, I don't want to generalize, let's say an expert in bipolar disorder, but perhaps you don't want to work with that audience, then maybe that's the direction you want to go into. And then also, is there revenue in it? Is there money into that market? Like I said, for marketing, there's always going to be people who want to invest in that. And clinical experience, obviously, she knows that there's a market for to go into devices in her expertise. I'm also knowledgeable about 80s music, but they're not going to pay me for that. Not yet. Not yet. I won a couple of trivia contests on some cruise ships, but that's about it. So it's got to be something that you are particular. Is there money into it? So when you start looking up if there's a particular niche, I do a Google search, or actually what I'm using now is Perplexity, which is an AI. I'm actually now replacing that with Google searches. But you want to see, are there other consultants in that area? So, for example, you might be an expert in underwater basket weaving. Nobody's in that niche. No one's going to be paying for it. You might think, oh, I'm the only one who's in it. Well, the one is in it because no one's paying for that information. So those are kind of like the metrics of some questions that you want to ask yourself before diving to see if you want to become a consultant in that area.
Absolutely. And never undersell yourself. And never settle for the first offer that they give you. Okay. And always negotiate. Everything is negotiable. So that's my kind of like my best advice for having had a lot of contract negotiation experience is always meet in the middle. So having said that, I hope you find this value in our series of how to monetize your medical expertise online. And we'll be sharing more ideas and other business opportunities in the coming up episode. And remember to check out our free community where we share marketing resources and everything you need in there. And you connect with other doctors that are wanting to start their business online at doctors with an S onlinesuccess.com is our free community. And down below, there's a link if you are interested in a marketing audit for your website and see if your website convert viewers to buyers or how fast the website is loading. Because nowadays Google is optimizing website that has fast loading time and it's user friendly. So if your website user friendly and it loads fast, then Google will push it out more. So there are things that you can do to easily optimize that. And we'll do a free marketing audit report for you. So check out the link down here. And that just know, doctor, that you are just not a doctor. You can be the doctor boss. We'll see you in the next episodes.
Take care.
Take care.